Hi, everybody. So believe it or not, it is week 7. We are almost halfway through our course. So I just wanted to give a little reminder that after this week, we do have spring break. We will be ending Unit 3 after this, so you can see that you have a journal coming due. But over spring break, just relax. Nothing to worry about. So there's a couple things outlined here. Some of these things I think might be a little repetitive considering some other things you've done. So I'm probably just going to include 1 or 2 of these articles in the announcement and link them and ask you to read them there. What I really want to focus on right now is the Unit 3B progress checkpoint. So that's going to be our main focus talking about today, and I want to explain exactly what we're doing, especially because I'm going to do things a little out of order. So this is the Unit 3B progress checkpoint, and actually, nope, that's not the updated one. This is the Unit 3B progress checkpoint. So you can see what I want you to do is just learn a little more about paraphrasing. I know several of you said that paraphrasing was a difficult task and reached out and said that you were having trouble. And my response in those cases was, it is. Paraphrasing is one of the most difficult skills that you'll really encounter in your academic writing life. So that's one reason that we practice it quite a lot. So what I want you to do for this progress checkpoint for 3B is I would like you to read over the article, How Do I Paraphrase? It's linked right here. All of these articles are also in the English Common Modules under the table of contents and paraphrasing resources. So this is just another in-depth explanation of ways you can go about paraphrasing, and there's a challenge at the bottom that you can do to get some practice in. There are also some examples, so I would like you to engage with this article, do the practices, read through this, just to get another perspective on some information about paraphrasing. Then the other thing I would like you to look at is an article about citing a paraphrase. So how do I cite a paraphrase? And you may have looked through these articles already. You might have checked through the paraphrasing resources already. So if you did that, that's fine. This is just to give you a good base level understanding of exactly what a paraphrase is, some more advice on how to do it, as well as citing it. There's also some examples down here, and I would like you to look through this. And there are some questions that you can answer. So, for instance, this first one says matching reference citation for the following question. So this is the reference citation that you would use to answer this. So to give this paraphrase, you would use the author's last name and the year, because that's the information that's provided. Oh, whoops, I wrote the wrong year. That's my bad. Still bad. There we go. It's embarrassing. I actually went through and did this worksheet to make sure I was right, and I got them all right the first time. But even teachers make mistakes, and that's why it's so important to double check yourself. And you don't have to turn this in. You don't have to screenshot it. You don't ever even have to tell me that you did it. But it is a good way to practice and to get an idea of how to have the citations right. And the reason I would like you to do that is because over here, if you look at ultimately what I want you to do is, and this is where I said it's a little bit out of order. For 101, you're going to be submitting a draft of your paper so that we can have the Unit 3 progress check over there. So you can either choose to talk to me over Zoom. You can email me and set up a time for Zoom. Or you can, on Sunday the 12th, you can just post, by Sunday the 12th, you can just post a draft of your paper and I'll give you feedback on that. Maybe make you a video, that kind of thing. Like I did the same as in Unit 1. What I want you to do is with that draft that you're going to have to create, because even if you do Zoom me, you're still going to want to bring a draft. You're going to post a draft on the link so that I can see it. When you're done that draft, I want you to, after you've posted it over on 101 for the progress check, I want you to go through your draft and highlight anywhere that you see as a paraphrase, anywhere where you think that you're paraphrasing. And then I want you to upload that. So what you need to submit is just the Word document of your 101 progress check draft, making sure to highlight all of your paraphrases first. And the reason I'm having you do that is because I really want to make sure that you understand what paraphrase is and what it should look like. A lot of times when students get in trouble for plagiarism, I'll say, well, what's going on here? Is this a quote? This looks like the exact wording, but there's no quotation marks. And people will say, oh, it's a paraphrase. But then we'll go back and we'll look at the original and it will be the exact same wording, which is really a form of patch writing and a form of plagiarism. So one thing that's going to be helpful to me is if you identify what you see as your paraphrases, I can really hone in and make sure that they're looking right, that you've set them up right, that you've included the citations, because that's the other problem with paraphrase. Paraphrasing is incredibly difficult. It takes a lot of work. And after you're done doing all the work of putting it in your own words, you still need to give credit where credit is due. So that's one of the most important parts of paraphrasing that people often forget. So they'll do all this work and they'll paraphrase, they'll put in their own words, and then they'll just stick the sentence in the paper without a citation, and that's plagiarism. So I want to make sure that you've got everything in your paper that's paraphrased to be as good as it can be. So it would be very helpful to me if you identified in your draft what you see as your paraphrasing so that I can say, okay, all right, yep, you're on the right track. Or so that I can clarify, because some people I know were having trouble telling between paraphrasing and quoting with attributive tags. So again, if you tell me what you think you did as paraphrasing, I can come back and say, okay, good start. Think about this, try this, and all of that good stuff. So that's what I want you to do. Really, this is the only assignment that's due, and then spring break, woohoo! And I do want you to read a couple articles that I will link in the announcement as a to-do. But that's pretty much it for the week.